You guys watch the Jake Paul boxing?
Boy, did I ever.
Bro, I saw this joke online, but so I'm not going to claim this as my own, but it is what comes to mind. I pirated that and I still felt robbed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, I watched that whole fucking thing. It was supposed to start at like 6, and then there's like all these, there's like Doja Cat and Justin Bieber. I was like, what is going on?
The concert aspect of it was mind-blowing. I can't, like, it's crazy.
Nah, you're tripping.
High-level people.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. But I don't think there's a big crossover of people that want to watch boxing and people that want to watch Justin Bieber. So I don't know.
Not really.
Right, exactly. But anyway, the fucking fight, here's the knockout. I'll show you guys. So I waited all night for this fucking fight. And then, you guys gave me so much shit when I was saying that Ben Askren didn't look good. Did I show the picture of his weigh-in? I don't think I ever showed that. You guys have
maybe
that?
we did on After Dark. I forget.
I don't think I did.
Yeah.
Can you guys?
No, I don't really. I was a little baffled by the by all the MMA people fans coming after you because everything that you said ended up being 100%
I was like, look, he's out of shape.
Yeah.
He's retired. He's not a boxer. This is not a fair fight. Jake is way bigger. I mean, look, yeah, he's an Olympian. He was, but I mean, he's not a boxer. He doesn't know how to box and he's out of shape. He hasn't fought. I mean, here's his weigh-in photo. The dude is built like me. The guy has no definition. The guy, he's out of shape.
Unquestionably.
I mean, come on. What kind of weigh-in is this, bro?
Fucking fried chicken.
This is a prize fighter? In what world is this a prize fighter? Headlining. This was the...
To be fair, he always kind of looked like this because I, after the fact, went and looked at some footage of...
He did not look like this.
Well,
Stop.
pull up. I mean, not as flabby, but if you see any pictures of him from his MMA days in the UFC, he doesn't look like a typical MMA fighter. Because he comes from wrestling. He was always,
Dude, he's got...
Listen, he was definitely more jacked, but...
Look.
Yeah, but...
That's way better.
I mean...
Look how jacked his arms are.
I agree, but
Okay,
look at
but
him
that's
next
not-
to any
look
other
at this.
UFC fighter.
Look at this.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Okay?
Yes, obviously he's...
Okay.
He's lost a step.
And look at this. Okay? He's jacked. Look at his arms.
I agree.
Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
Ben Askren, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not taking anything away from him in his previous life, but this is a fucking joke. This matchup is a joke. I'm so over this YouTube boxing shit. Unless he fights a real fucking boxer in the prime of his career next time, I'm not watching. I don't want any more bullshit fights from Jake.
Nah, you're
He literally just knocked out a 40-year-old man who hasn't fought in like several years, who has no experience in boxing.
We don't care.
Although, even considering all that, I was still... First of all, they fought for a few minutes.
On the top of the head
Like a minute and a half.
And Ben looked awful. He looked awful. Like, look at him. He doesn't know what he's doing.
His form was off.
He doesn't know how to defend himself. He doesn't know how to throw a punch. And, he didn't even block the punch. And the whole thing looks like a comic book. Like, look how he falls to the ground. It's like, and then the ref calls it immediately. I was like, dude, what did I just watch? This is such a fucking clown fest. Look at this. And then he calls it. I was like, no, I seriously did not stay up and waste my whole Saturday night to not even see Jake Paul get hit once. I don't know why that ref called it, bro. I know he was dazed. He was fucked. The fight was a joke.
In that moment right there, if you watch it carefully, he tells him to step forward and he staggers to the side.
Yeah, I saw.
I mean,
It looked, at first I was like, what was that? Everyone was saying it's staged. I don't think so. I looked at everything from every angle.
Well, he for sure got that. I mean, it can be staged with still taking a hit, that it was just planned that he would get punched.
I still think the ref should have let him go. It's a prize fight, okay? Who is this ref? Get a different ref. You just tell him, let the fight go, man. Ben Askren's taking beatings in the MMA, dude. Jake Paul's not gonna kill Ben Askren. Don't worry about it.
Nah, you're tripping.
It was the worst fight. It was such a waste.
And then
of
Jake
time.
Paul literally fell to the floor in a fetal position, bawling his eyes out in happiness.
Yeah, there were some good memes. So like when you knock out a 40-year-old out of shape wrestler. Although apparently he had a friend who died. I don't know what it was. It was more about
Perhaps.
that. But anyway, here he is. I mean,
He'd probably watch Rocky IV before the fight.
I mean, everything he does, he's just trying to imitate Conor McGregor's. What's crazy though? I gotta say, these Paul brothers are like fucking genital herpes, man. They do not go away. This was the 10th. Here, let me see.
10th highest
You have
pay-per-view, right?
that info chart. Did you guys find that?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see that. This was the 10th most pay-per-view ordered event in history, which is absolutely insane. 1.5 million pay-per-view orders. I didn't pay for that shit. I almost did, but Ian came through with the link. Daddy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You gonna play cool?
You didn't do anything wrong.
I didn't do anything.
Ian, you sent me the link. Come on. You had like
doing.
backups and backups and backups. I was like, this
That
one's not
wasn't
working.
me.
I'm going to buy it. You're like, hold strong. You sent me one
Don't
that
think that was
worked.
me.
Can you
Doesn't
send me
ring
that
a bell.
infograph, somebody?
I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm looking for it right now in our chat.
I got to hand it to these guys. They're hustlers, man. It's crazy that these guys won't fucking just get out of my life. And I can't help it. I'm curious. I want to watch this fight. But I was so pissed about the way that fight went that unless he's fighting a boxer in his prime, I just can't watch it. So check this out. Here's the top 10 pay-per-view events of all time. Why does it say 110?
Because it's tied.
Oh, I see. Tied for 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right up there. It's kind of interesting to look at. Floyd versus Manny Pacquiao was number one.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
That was an awful fight too.
I didn't realize that fight was like that big of a deal. It's crazy to see Mike Tyson's big fights. His big fights. Mike Tyson versus Lennox Lewis, 1.9 million. Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr., 1.6. He's right there. Do you guys understand how crazy that is?
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Jake fought before Mike during that fight. That's when he knocked out
Say what?
Robin. Jake fought in that card too. He was a part of that fight. The Mike Tyson fight.
Oh.
The one you just described.
Oh.
Yeah.
He was an undercard.
Mike Tyson looked good.
Yeah.
I would like to see Mike Tyson fight Jake Paul.
Me too.
That'd be fucking. Now that's a pay-per-view event. I'd pay for that. I wouldn't even pirate that. I would just pay for that.
That'd be too good, man.
Oh my God. A 65-year-old Mike Tyson. He beat the fuck out of him, wouldn't he?
It's. I mean, my impulse is to say, yeah, of
But he's
course.
65.
Yeah, the age difference is absurd. So
He's
I don't
pretty-
necessarily know, but I mean, obviously he's still in great shape, and
He looked good in that fighting. I was
He's
impressed.
pretty yoked, man.
yeah, I don't know.
So anyway, I don't know. They made apparently they generated $65 million the fight. They must have spent a lot on performances though. They had like all these huge artists.
Yeah,
Usually we were trying to figure out how much Jake made because the official earnings has Paul's fight salary at $700,000 and Askren's $500,000. But these kind of big prize fights, you get usually a split of the pay-per-view revenue, right?
yeah.
So
Which seems to vary wildly depending on your size and how big it's expected to be and everything. This is a really weird case because it was really big, but like not for the reasons that traditionally they would be big.
So if you look at Mayweather and McGregor fight, which sold like over 4 million, that was like the biggest prize fight ever. Those guys split 40% of the of the pay-per-view revenue, which is insane. I mean, that's why they each made like hundreds of millions of dollars from that fight. It was absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
But my hunch, if I'm just going to take a guess here, is that Jake Paul probably got between definitely not more than 10%. I think he got like 5%.
He also has equity in Triller, so
That's
double
what
dip.
That's interesting.
That is the aspect that makes me think it might be a little bit higher, actually.
What? Why? No, they would
Because he has
leverage that to pay him less. They would be like, no, you're doing it for the company. That's why you're doing it. You know, I don't think he got more. I think he got less.
Okay.
It's just not. He knows. Everybody knows he's not Conor McGregor. He's not Mayweather. This is just a circus. They're trying to make a reputation for themselves. That's why they're spending all this money on performances and shit, trying to make it something more interesting.
Yeah.
I think he got like between 5 and 10%. So that's between, if he said it was $65 million generated, so that's between like 3 and 6 million bucks.
Not bad.
Not bad. I mean, I gotta say, I'm impressed with the hustle. These guys always figure out how to make a fucking buck, man. It's kind of insane. These guys used to sling merch like it was damn crack to these kids, and now they're selling boxing tickets. I don't know, man. That being said, I want to watch him. I will have no respect for him as a fighter until he fights a real boxer.